So we just came off that beautiful shot of latte art, and I've got Tony here from Fuego Coffee, local cafe. Brought your Bear Claw coffee with you, but you're going to show us, now you pour a lot of latte art, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You've done some competitions, won some competitions.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And what you're going to do is show us coming up the easiest way to pour latte art, so somebody who's really new at this can be successful.
Yeah.
And you'll take us maybe a step or two further.
Yes.
And show us, what you can do when you've had some practice.
Yeah,
right?
definitely, for sure.
So really appreciate you having you here. If you have questions, towards the end of the video, we will answer your questions. Use those comments. We have Amanda over here who is ready to take your questions and relay them over to us. But with that, Tony, let's get in. Let's pull some shots and froth some milk and do some art, huh?
All right, let's go for it.
Now we're going to use the Della Corte Mina here, and this is the very first time you're actually using this machine?
Yes, first time I've used this actual machine.
Nice.
Pretty excited.
If you just missed it, we just had Tony in the previous segment dialing in with this grinder here, the Chiato E37S with the quick set, which you use in your shop. Mm-hmm. You have 3 of them, or 2 of them there, and 1 you use for catering.
Yep.
So the Mina here is a flow control machine. This is a really nice machine. You're using now a 12-ounce pitcher there. Is that what do you use in the shop usually?
12-ounce pitcher. So yeah, our cappuccinos typically range from 5 ounces to 8 ounces, and our lattes go from 8 to 12 ounces.
Okay.
All right. So what I'd like to do is I like to put the pitcher in just on the surface, and I like to hear almost like tearing paper when I start. And I like to do that for about 3 tears, and then I will submerge the wand to steam and heat up the milk.
So that tear is just getting a little bit of air in there, right?
Yep. Then I want to balance out any bubbles that's within this milk. I'm going to wipe the steam wand, and then you're always going to want to purge.
It will suck milk back up in there when it starts to cool.
Correct.
As soon as you turn the pressure
on.
All
right, so let's look at this milk. What we want it to look like is wet paint with no big visible bubbles. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this shot right here of espresso, and I'm going to show you the easiest way. If you want to come around to this side, you're always going to want to keep the milk into the center of the drink. Keep it high, consistent pour, and then when you want a design to come out, just go really low, keep it in the middle, lift up, and pull through, and then you have a little tiny heart.
Now that's super easy.
Yep, that's very, very easy.
So anybody
can
So it's basically just get the right milk texture,
yep.
Of course.
As well, what I like is you never want to waste milk. So I love this picture and seeing like how much milliliters are going in. So, usually what you want to have is like under an ounce of waste.
So shall we do another?
And, yeah, we can do another.
Show us what you got?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So again, we'll go on the Mina here. And again, we did in the previous segment, if you weren't watching live and you're seeing this after the fact with Tony, he did show us how he dials in the Chiato E37S in his shop. And you really like this grinder a lot.
Oh, I love it. I love Chiato's products. I got to use one of the single dosers at the SCA event.
Oh, the E37SD?
Yes.
Yes.
That was fun. All right.
Yeah, we had those. There was one at the Colombian Coffee Connection
too. Mm-hmm. Yep. So one of the coffees I believe that you guys are going to be selling is actually our Colombia El Vergel, which is a direct trade relationship that we have in Colombia.
That's nice. But this is the Bear Claw, your Bear Claw, which we do have right now.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Alrighty, let's use this little guy.
You gonna do a little one?
Yeah.
Or do you want something a little more substantial?
Yeah, let's do the big one. Give us a little bit more room to work with.
Now, when you make a cappuccino, are you doing a traditional cappuccino or more of, I don't know, I've heard it called a Northwest with more of a latte style of froth? And
so yeah, we're doing a microfoam. So basically,
So you can pour art on it.
Yeah, yep, definitely. So you call the pour.
I get to say what you're going to do. Give me some options.
Rosetta, heart, You can do tulips.
Let's do the Rosetta. Let's do a really nice
cool.
Rosetta.
Let me try that out. Get started. Perfect.
And how do you feel about the steam power on this one?
I love the steam power on this, actually. Right. So for some baristas, the hardest pour out there is the Rosetta.
Oh, so I give you a challenge, huh?
Yep, this is actually one of my hardest pours that, I am not a fan of, but I love trying it because it's so traditional, so I'm gonna go for it. And there we go.
Very
That
nice.
is your Rosetta.
And again, if you have questions for Tony, get them into the comments now. I'd be more than happy to take those. Very nice. So tell me about the coffee again, your Bear Claw here.
So the Bear Claw is 70% Brazil and 30% Ethiopia. It's a natural Ethiopia, so a little bit more fruity on that aspect. As a cappuccino, it sort of reminds me of like a Tootsie Roll.
And I think do we have a question?
Yes, we do.
We do. Okay.
I do not know how to pronounce this. First part of it is Amy. They are asking, is it difficult to learn how to do flow profiling according to the coffee beans we use?
So this is funny.
I can address this a little bit, but go ahead.
For me, I use typically Nova Simonelli at the shop. The Nova Simonelli Aurelia 2 is a heat exchanger, I believe. So I usually don't do a lot of flow rate. So I guess it's a good question for you.
Yeah, so we've done a couple videos just with some introductory stuff on flow profiling, and so there's some very basic things that you can do with flow profiling. So one of those is those really long, low flow extractions at the start. If you have a very, very fresh coffee, to allow the CO2 to come out of that really fresh coffee before you're really hitting it with a higher flow rate.
So basically like doing a pour over in a way, like how you would allow it to bloom a little bit.
Allowing that CO2 to get out of the grind so that the water can get in.
Yeah.
And then another way to do it is if you're using, say, a darker roast or a coffee that's maybe starting to get a little stale, if it's one of those coffees that depends on being really fresh from roast. And we'll take a look at the flow control page here in a minute. But if you have like a darker roast coffee, so what a lot of the pros suggest is hitting that with a high flow and then tailing off so you don't pull out those stale flavors at the end or pull the bitterness out of a dark roast at the end. And then in an earlier video, we did like, do you do coffee shots at all in your shop?
No, I'm not set up for that, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you can do that with a flow profiling machine like the 600 here, which has the flow control on it, or the Mina. So what you do is you do a much coarser grind than what you do for espresso, and then use a really low flow rate to do more of a drip style coffee, or so you can use an espresso machine to get more of a drip style coffee.
Now,
pretty cool.
Is the extraction around 120 seconds?
It's around, we work with it, and you work with the grind a little bit. You might go 60 or 90, but a very low flow rate.
Okay.
And you get a different flavor. I mean, we've even tried it with pre-ground coffee just for fun, and got some pretty good results with it. So
that's awesome.
Pretty interesting. But so that if it's basically the basic starting point for flow control, we found is very fresh coffee, low flow to start. Lighter roasted coffees, a really low flow to start, and then bring it up and tail it off at the end. And kind of the opposite for older coffee that's starting to get maybe a little stale, or really dark roast is to hit it hard and then tail it off. Okay. So just some basics there. Any other questions?
Yes, we've got one in from Marcus. Oh, and we have someone else that's asked one too. We'll start with Marcus. What's the best milk temperature for lattes? And how do you feel it?
How do you feel it?
How do you feel it? All right.
What do you think?
So, like I said, I'm a second wave barista traditionally. Moved into more of the craft coffee. So basically, what I like to look for is anywhere from like 145 to 155 is my ideal temperature. Cappuccinos are supposed to be consumed within like 3 minutes traditionally, where lattes you can have them a little bit hotter, about anywhere from like 155 to 160.
Yeah. See now, and I find milk to be sweetest at about 140. That's where I really think you get the sweetest flavor out of it. But you can go a little hotter, then it cools off. You're not going to lose anything by going a little bit hotter.
I've seen people go as low as like 130, and I was just like, whoa, you know. So
I think it's a big surprise for people, especially those who are coming just from like normal American coffee and then getting into lattes, and they expect a latte or cappuccino to be as hot as a standard cup of coffee.
The other thing though too is how you're feeling. So basically you want to be able to hold the pitcher in your hand too and not have it burn you. So that's a good way of telling your milk is hot enough.
Yeah, and if you do use a thermometer, I haven't used a thermometer in a very long time. It's just all by feel. It's kind of like, let's just get to that point where maybe it's just getting slightly uncomfortable. Okay, we're good. But if you are using a thermometer, especially if you're using more of an analog type, realize that when you cut the steam, the thermometer is still 10 degrees behind the actual temperature that you have there. Even with the, some of the digital thermometers, I mean, they still take a little time to catch up. So if you're going to like 140 on that, you're probably getting more like 150, 155. And if you like it hot and you're going to 155, you're probably near scalding by the time you're done. And you definitely don't want to do that. No. Nothing's coming back from that flavor.
We got another question?
We have a couple rolling in, so I'll be passing these on in order. We've got HP Duster asking, is there any difference in technique when steaming dairy versus non-dairy, like oat milk?
Do you guys do non-dairy?
Yes, so we do 3 non-dairy milks. 2 are from Pacific. One is the almond milk and the other is the soy. And then we have Califia Farms oat milk. So I guess the specific question was about oat. So oat is the most neutral non-dairy milk that I've used. So it's very, very similar to regular dairy milk in steaming. When you're steaming almond milk, it is very different than soy milk and regular milk. So there's a lot of like adjustments that you have to make for almond and soy. But the most 2 similars are the oat and dairy milk.
Yeah, that's cool. And I don't know if you've ever tried it, but we did a thing, and if you check go to Whole Latte Love and check our blogs, we did a whole kind of taste and froth and pouring comparison between 10 different milks, including some dairy and non-dairy. And just don't ever use goat milk. It froths really nice.
Does it have a little tartness to it?
But it doesn't taste all that great. I mean, maybe somebody's into that kind of thing. I don't know. But if you want to know about what some of the milks, and what we found also is that even between brands of some of those non-dairy milks, there's a lot of difference in how they froth. And I noticed you brought up the Pacific.
Yeah.
That's kind of designed for that,
right? For me, I love, non-homogenized cream top whole milk. That's what we use at our shops. In, some of the richest, most delicious milk that you can get, for sure.
All right. Any more?
Yeah, we've got...
Maybe we can take like one more and then
yeah.
Okay.
We got something ringing over here. So we've got one from Michael from Germany. Welcome.
Hi, Michael.
What problems might be caused by too much steam power?
Too much. Is there such a thing?
So the one thing is like I like a lot of steam pressure, so that's great for me. But when it comes to like heating up the milk, you just want to make sure that you don't over steam it. I mean, the way to tell is like, one, your hands are like burning off, and milk has a certain sort of smell that comes along when you over steam it. It smells like burnt corn in a way.
Yeah.
So usually I try to avoid that.
If you get to the burnt corn smell, your hands are also burning.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You probably have
leaving a little flesh behind on the picture.
Secondary burns probably.
Yeah. But in general, more steaming power is more. It's going to give you a more effective frothing, right?
Yeah. So basically, what I like about this is like you're done steaming your milk within like 10 to 15 seconds, which is ideal. Where some other home machines, can go up to like 30 to 45 seconds for steaming, and you're not getting enough, you know, microfoam on top.
And that's what I like about like the Profitec Pro 700, the Synchronica, and the Pro 600 here, that it have that 2-bar steam pressure. They really have a lot of pressure, and that's, you know, right up what you're getting on a commercial machine, if not sometimes even exceeding what you have on a commercial machine. You know, but really, really nice. So with that, I think we need to wrap it up because we got another segment coming up. What do we have coming up next? Let's take a quick look because we are doing. Oh, I think it's we're going to do some cupping. So we're going to have in another local roaster, Joe Bean, competitor.
Oh no,
friends,
yeah,
friends,
always
course.
Friends.
And then a little after that, we're going to set up a super automatic, semi-automatic machine. I'm going to have a little race with somebody, see who can pull an espresso first.
Perfect.
Setting those up. But Tony, listen, thanks
for having me.
I do need to cover if you know, we talked. Did we talk about? No, we didn't talk about the AR in 3D, did we? No. So let's just take a quick look at a nice feature on our website. This is where you can see a lot of our products in 3D on a laptop or on a mobile device. So you can look at a model like that, but we're going to go a little further than that and into something really cool. See the little icon. If you're on a compatible mobile device, you hit that and boom. Augmented reality, you can put a machine right on your own counter in your own home. We do have a section of our website that has all those products you can look at so you can see which ones have it. We're adding more all the time. Very cool stuff. And also I just want to cover, you know, some of the stuff that we offer here at Whole Latte Love. You know, and why you might want to work with us. We'll take a look at that. So we've got Latte rewards. When you make a purchase, you're going to earn money for future purchases, basically. We've got always free shipping on purchases over $50. We have financing available there. On our higher end prosumer level machines, most of those are going to have a 3-year parts and labor warranty, so you're covered. We've got our bundler on the site where you can bundle products, save some money. Also get real size relationships. We've got the expert customer service because most of the people we have employed here answering phones are guys like you who have been baristas and they've worked with these machines. They have access to the machines here. And we have that 4.9 out of 5-star rating on Trustpilot. We work really hard to do that, giving the best possible service we can. So Tony, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
For coming in. And again, if you have more comments, leave them down there. We'll answer those questions in the months ahead. And until next time, which is going to be in just a few minutes if you're watching the live stream, we'll see you back here soon for more of the best on everything coffee, brought to you by Whole Latte Love.